working in a very small department in one of the campuses of the university. And before moving on, I would like to express my sincere thanks and gratitude to the organizers, especially for Sajida, and to all the pains to organize all small issues, solve them very quickly, very effectively. And I feel Tunisia is my second home. So first I came in 2010. It was an amazing experience for me, and I could see the energy of all the young minds, how they are striving, to grow further in the knowledge-based society. And the second time, my confidence is more building up, and I'm really keen in setting up some kind of a collaboration with institutions here, and we would like to seriously proceed on those directions. Thanks very much for having me here. So this is, today we had a lot of technical sessions, and we learned many new things, what is happening around, and different technologies. Yesterday I undergo a few French sessions. I couldn't understand better, but all the slides were in English. I can make sense out of it. So this is very important to communicate. It's very important to share the knowledge what we generate over the years, and the institutions, how we make it more productive by taking it, passing it on to the community. So mine is not really in a technical paper. I'm not going to present and talk about technologies per se, but how we diffuse technologies to make communities more productive, more sustainable, and how we shape up the future of the next generation. There's more sense, and how best practices around and what we have been doing within our institutions, and how we are taking care of small issues and very wholeheartedly and setting up a system so that a community like this or like India, they can be more productive and they will be future ready. So this is, let me introduce you. This is the map of the University of Delhi. We have virtually 4 campuses, 2 physical campuses, one south, spread about entire capital of India. This is the statistics of the department. We have roughly 400,000 students in various disciplines, so you can be amazed by looking at the numbers. So we have about 8,500 teachers, 78 colleges, departments, and about 22 faculties. So it's quite big, but volume itself is a big challenge. Volume itself is the biggest challenge for us, and how to cope up with the diverse requirement of the learning community. So over the past almost 10 years, the government closely working with the institutions and how to create such kind of environment that the technology can be a ready platform for all the learning community, and they can be the integral part of it, so that they can do without any hindrances, whether it's a technological or social or political. So this is one where what is need of innovation initiative. So 5 years back, our government initiated and launched a project called National Innovation Council, right, wherein they invited all the institutions across India, all the students, they lively participated in that, and took each and every idea to make the education policy of the country, right? Then investment in the new technologies and clear policies, new models, where we are emphasizing more on the community-driven research, right? We are reaching out to the communities, society, real-world problems, and we are taking care of them, and students are not doing the typical internship at the institution, right, sitting there, but they are moving out to the rural places. They are understanding the real-world problems and understanding them, modeling them, and coming out with various solutions, and ultimately pushing it to the knowledge society. So whatever is more appropriate is being accepted and being prototyped back in the university to make it more sustainable, to make it more available. And these are the low-cost practices, and it's a very new dimension for the students to work on. Some of the objectives were how we are encouraging students to develop academic programs, launches schemes is another very important step we have taken. We launched the innovation schemes for all the colleges. Colleges is a small entity which is connected to the central universities, and these innovation schemes is nothing but the faculty along with students. They have to come up with a project proposal. They need to submit it to the university, and the university funds that project. And the duration of the project is 1 year. So this year, the results were amazing, right? Students developed the biosensors, environmental sensors, and they developed low-cost servers. They developed many different kind of devices, technology-driven, some modeling, and it was a fantastic experience for us. So, and this is the third year we are continuing with that scheme. And by doing that, what we are getting out of it is a huge knowledge base coming back to the institution. Huge, which was never exist earlier. Right? And now the issue is how to benchmark that. So we are setting up, the people there, and they are critically evaluating each and every development there, and benchmarking each and every work, what we have been achieving so far. Another very important initiative I would like to share with you is a technology diffusion for development, and the project called National Knowledge Network. And this is nothing to do with the social network at all, but this National Knowledge Network is one of the emerged as the backbone of all the knowledge societies, all the knowledge institutions across the nation. And this is, it aims to bring together all the stakeholders from science, technology, higher education, health, agriculture, different communities, everyone to the common platform. So we need to talk about, I'll touch upon the technologies associated with how we implemented it and what we have learned since yesterday. All of that, you can look at that snapshot. So, if you look at the spread in capacity, it's ushering a knowledge revolution in the country with connectivity of more than 1,500 institutions, 10 million in size, and this purely a gigabit Ethernet deployment, and which starts with 1 Gbps to the 40 Gbps, fully redundant, right? So I'll show you the architecture also. So IPN is to connect all the knowledge and research institutions in the country using high bandwidth and a very low latency network, right? That is how we are connected. So this is the entire country, and all the mashup is the National Knowledge Network. It's fully redundant and fully configurable and fully deployed, completely deployed, and all the institutions are a part of it. And now each and every central university of the country is having 10 gigabit per second of the bandwidth. So now you can imagine how the sharing capacity has increased manifold. So, architecture point of view is in design, obviously, it has to be scalable, it has to be secure, it has to be robust, right? And if you look at the third point, is inherently capable of progressively moving with the multiples of 10, 40, and 100 gigabit per second, right? And further complemented with the distributed layer of appropriate speeds. So, the question is it simply a deployment of technology? Is this the kind of policy-driven project? Government announced something and deployed something and it's all done? No, I think this is more than that. It's more serious. In terms of if you're looking at the productivity and outcome, we are getting out, right? And for example, this is another semantics of how the core layer, the distribution layer, and how we are distributing further to the end user, the universities, colleges, institutions. And now this whole architecture is going down to the village level, right? So each and every village is going to have, I think 30% of the work has already been done. All the villages are going to have a 1 Gbps connectivity. So the local community, even in the village, is going to be connected with the central knowledge resource, right? This is another snapshot, so I'm not getting into the technical details of it. But why do we do this? Well, this is the most important aspect for us. We need to encourage, enable, enrich, and empower the user community. So that is the entire objective of the whole project. And how do we, bring in community just by providing just the infrastructure or anything else? Is the knowledge base. Once we connect the community with the institution, they are always feel empowered. The community institutions with their problem, their real world problem, their different kind of situations, and they're getting somehow the good solutions for that. So this is not only the technology deployment in the community, and that is one snapshot of NPN, how it is going to look like in the future, right? Wherein you will see what we have been discussing since yesterday: cloud computing, ad hoc networks, the mobile computing, mobile platform, everything is part of it. Now it is very important for the community to understand what is happening around, to understand what are the technologies on which they need to work. For example, in India, we have diverse situations, right? We have small villages, small cities, we have metropolitan cities, we have different kind of infrastructure at different places. If a student at a remote place would like to perform some kind of a high computing experiment, they do not have an infrastructure. They can't afford it. So how do we do that? So that is the answer. That is the answer by using national knowledge network. They can push their job to the central data center nearby, and they can perform their computing task. And that is how they are going. And now they're learning this, capabilities. They're improvising on their own capabilities to for learning better things, future things, and also how to become more productive, and also how to become more answerable to the community, whatever knowledge they generate. Some of the highlights we've already discussed. I'll skip it. These are the core benefits. So, some deployment has happened. The core benefit is each and every institution now is a part of virtual classroom and is countrywide. Even in today, how many professors, right? If I met the professor last night, and I was so overwhelmed by knowing that the knowledge he has, now he has completed his tenure in the university, right? But how to utilize his expertise in the remote places? He can't travel all the places again and again every day. How to utilize? So this is the answer. So that is why keeping everything in mind. So now the one professor, one faculty can deliver his talk to 100 institutions at the same time. And we have been doing it. We have started doing it last year, not much ago. So now, how we are reaching out with the help of the technology, what are the technologies associated? And now students keep talking about, let's do the video stream, let's do the kind of a video conferencing for the class, let's invite the professor over the video. So that is how we started talking to the virtual teacher, but in the real-time mode. Right? So this is all happening with the help of the work we have been doing, the excellent work, and I'm really impressed by what the students are doing in the university. But now time has come to converge, time has come to put that research into practice, how to implement that, what we have been doing the work, right? So virtual classroom is very effective, it's been happening. Then collaborative research. Again, this is very important for the research community to collaborate. We have the examples of Tier 1, Tier A university, Tier 2 university, Tier 3 university. We rate them based on the infrastructure, based on the faculty, right? Based on other parameters. It could be socio-political, right? But students are same everywhere. So students should not be deprived of the right kind of knowledge. And that is why we need to integrate all of that with the right technology. And this is perfectly doing its job. And we are the part of CERN, Garuda, Time, Fluoride is a European network, you might be aware of it. So that is how we are connecting research communities, research students, so that we can share freely without any constraint. Right? This is very important. And we found that the researchers are now more aggressive, and now they've become the action-oriented researchers. They want to put that thing, the thought processes into practice immediately. Another very important is the virtual library. Right? How many of you in this forum are aware of Open Book? Please raise your hands. Open libraries. Right. So now, this is very interesting. If I own the books, right, it doesn't mean that I'm the master of that knowledge base. It should be made available to the community. It should be made available to the students. Yeah. So these are some of the key issues we have, deliberated upon. We discussed a plan. But what are the things, what are the resources we need to provide back to the community? So these are the things: availability of the knowledge, availability of the, good resource in terms of the faculty, human resource, or any other type. Another is a sharing of computing resources, where high performance computing is required, and not each and every institution can afford that kind of infrastructure. And it takes millions of dollars to set up a cluster, right? 50-node cluster and huge database. And now we are moving towards setting up cloud-based infrastructure for the students, so they can push their job cloud and something like that. So this is another important component of that. Other services like grid computing, network technology testbeds, and most importantly, e-governance. Right? E-governance is what it brings a lot of transparency into the system. Right? It brings a lot of confidence building within the community that whatever is happening within the policy framework is actually coming down to us, and what are the opportunities available there. And this is the generic services for the research community is very, very important. The community is feeling very empowered now, because these kind of very trivial, very techy services, earlier we used to go here and there and find support, the financial component, all those things are becomes a complex issue. Now, as a part of the National Knowledge Network, these things, whether it's internet services, the internet management, any messaging, high-end computing, voice over, video streaming, or whatever, right, is available to the community, any content everywhere as a part of the network. So once the infrastructure is in place, so suddenly you feel that the young minds have got to do. They have so many ideas to implement, and you are providing just a connection, just a connectivity to someone else, right? Not within their own institution, but outside their institution. Once you start this, the flow of knowledge starts, and that is how community grows. And what we have experienced with this project. So this is Sabri, high-speed backbone, enabling collaborative research, facilitating advanced distance education, ultra-high-speed backbone for e-governance, and most importantly, in the area of research, education, health, commerce, and governance. So these are the most important parameters for development of any community, for any society. So now, we are getting into convergence of interest. The government has initiated this project, and how to leverage on that project, and university to take the maximum benefit out of it. And how to go about it? We have the higher education, where key catalyst in development is knowledge economy, then provides a natural ecosystem of innovation. Government is another stakeholder where the policy framework to promote innovation and forming innovation network. And we have the private sector where the competitive advantage founded in innovation, application, R&D research, then acquisition of skills and technology. So, after so much of deliberations, we find that how R&D should be carried out, the creation of knowledge and support, and how to work out the technology transfer. All of you are aware of this, and this is not a rocket science, and this is nothing new which needs to be explained. But setting up the curriculum-driven interface between the community, industry, and government was a very, very exciting process, where creating an interface between community and industry. So we started with some domains where the mathematics is. When we talk about mathematics, I really admire, and I recall, I'm sorry I forgot the name, but 1400 BC, one Tunisian mathematician, can somebody help me? He laid down the foundation of mathematics of the future. I'm sorry, I'm listening here. Pardon me? Around 1400. Yeah. And he laid down the future of the mathematics at that time, and we are using all those concepts now as a core foundation. Then we have ICT, health informatics, telecommunication, bioinformatics, community-driven research, and design. Design is very, very important aspect of our learning environment, where we are always deprived of thinking out of the box. Right? We are always encouraged to restrict our ideas and follow whatever conventional practices are happening. Right? So the design, setting up design centers and all that, we have to take out the creativity of all the students, and they are really doing pretty well and coming up with brilliant ideas. So what are the technology trends? What are the technology trends in our society? I mean, even if you look at your own institution, how you look at the technology is an obstacle, it's a support system, or what? Can somebody tell me? Or it's a very difficult thing to acquire. How you look at the technology? Maybe some students will have support. Okay? Anybody else? How do you look at the technology? So as technological devices have become more versatile, right? You'll find each and every one that they're trying to use different technologies, the mobile technology or the desktop-based technology or any technology, but how we are integrating it. There's a tremendous growth in network-based applications, as you are all aware that mobile has created, revolutionized the entire organ, whether it's teaching, learning, application, and in any domain, whether it's healthcare, agriculture, or management, whatever you talk about, right? And the technological fluency is becoming a graduation requirement. If you're not skilled, you're not required. Right? So how to develop an ecosystem where the technology should automatically be embedded in our teaching and learning environment or whatever place we are working for. Because the network has become the core learning platform. And this is a platform we cannot shy away. If we don't trust this, if we don't believe in this, probably not be part of that future learning community. So some of the recent initiatives like everywhere in the world keep working with curriculum design, new curriculum in practice. And recently we started 4 years BTech program in innovation. And that BTech innovation is purely based on mathematics and IT. Right? Devised in such a way that all aspects of subjects, right, should be mixed in such a way that the students can learn how to innovate. It's an experiment. Now we are in the third year, and somehow it has clicked, and it's very students. Now, in the last 2 years, they have developed a model for rover for Mars, and they are going to present this May, next month, to NASA about that project. They have been called for that. So it is nothing that other institutions or other students can't do such kind of things. It's important to understand and to create an ecosystem for that. How you encourage students to come up with their own creativity and how you nurture the creativity is a key issue. Students everywhere globally are same. We have same IP level, we have brilliant faculties around us, right? But how to make that system, how to make that ecosystem, to make it happen. Then we have innovation schemes we have already discussed for the undergraduate students, and as a part of undergraduation, now it's mandatory for every student to carry out a very small research program, research project. It could be 4 weeks, it could be 6 weeks, right? But it's mandatory, credit-based. It is not like you have to innovate something, you have to invent something, nothing. You need to understand the process in the real world more. Go to the village, you go to the slums, you understand the problem. Radio system, look at the electrical system, and undergraduate. The moment you start in the cave, these kind of ideas in the minds of students at that level, probably need to be able to get much refined and mature minds at a higher level. And that is how we are linking the villages, urban slums, and the low-income areas, and the focus on solving local and real-world problems. What problem we are facing around us, we never talk about them. We never try to innovate. Right? Whether it is radio system outside of my home, whether it is a false wiring at our home, it could be a design issue, it could be a technology issue. What kind of material has been used? They need to understand right at that level, and they need to implement it in such a way so that all processes they can understand at a deeper level. And of course, the training and capacity building workshops, continuous workshops we organize. Some of the action points for the collaborative network, and we are calling it a collaborative network. Why? Is a model for joint R&D project, joint student internship, and visiting research fellowship, the joint research training activities, models of entrepreneurship, identifying aspects of knowledge transfer. These are the key points where we are stressing and we are considering at a very serious level. Models of interaction and networking between universities and entrepreneurial sector is another important one. There are various success stories globally. There is a successful model, there is a triangle, academia, industry, and government, right? Each country is doing their experiments to make the maximum or to take the maximum productivity out of that. But where are we? Because it keeps changing. It keeps changing with the times, with the different technology. Now, how we enabling the environment that we're talking about, how to build and set up the ecosystem. So, this environment consists of infrastructure, information, human resource, and innovation activities, where the innovation activities takes the maximum part of this environment. So look at the infrastructure and what we talk about, and human resource, right. So it's just a snapshot of what we have discussed in the last 15 minutes. But continuous review of the existing system, enhance the research culture through innovative programs. Whether we do the conventional research, basic research, it is mandatory, it's very important to understand the basics, right? But how to put that into the application, right? How to set up the interface to provide that knowledge so that one can think of making some kind of a prototype or some kind of a product in future, who knows. So this is the environment we are talking about, and this is the virtual network. We are emphasizing how we create this virtual network, where in the black you can see the training R&D institutions, government policy framework, innovation-led curriculum with industry. So these are the core ingredients, right, where the higher institutions, the universities, communities, and government, they can sit together and work out the mechanism of it. But how the training and R&D institution with the government policy framework can address the real-world problem and to provide a skilled human resource. On the other side, how training and R&D institution promote entrepreneurial and environment and opportunities. Similarly, if the government policy framework with defined and continuous evaluated curriculum can provide the knowledge and innovation capacity building. So how you are taking it? It may be right for us, maybe you can innovate your own model. This is not a thumb rule that everybody has to follow this. This is just the best practice we are sharing here. So, and we got the good result out of it. So the challenge is to develop the future sustainability through the creation of long-term links between the university, government, and the industry. And of course, the civic society. So the network approach was why we've taken up that, to have the multiplier effect, so that in one time, at one go, you can have multiplied responses, right? Where multiple responses at the same time of one experiment. Commitment to human-centered system, and also the significance, to understand the significance of diversity. And India is a country of diversity. We speak more than 60 languages in one country. Right. If you put together the total number of languages are 22. If you take all the tribal sections and everything, right? From anywhere to anywhere, after every 100 kilometers, you find a different food, a different culture, a different way of life. There's so much of diversity we deal with. And look at the volume, how many numbers we are dealing with. So how to work with the most effective system so that all the stakeholders with that diversity can meet their objectives. It cannot be a number. It cannot be a single formula that everyone can be satisfied with one thing, right? So we have to continuously evolve, continuously work out on the models, how we can satisfy the community. Institutional change process is another very important thing. In India, we have 10 plus 2 plus 3 kind of a system, 10, K10, K12, then 3 for the undergrad level. But now we are constantly evaluating and coming up with the 4 years of undergrad program so they can cope up with the challenges when they go out, because otherwise they have to study for 1 more year, because in the US or elsewhere, right, they need 4 years at undergrad school. So this is continuous evaluation. We have to change with times. The capacity building, the process of monitoring as catalyst of sustained innovation, right? Process of monitoring, right? How do we process? We keep monitoring our own students in the classroom. It looks like it's a very, very static and mechanical way to evaluate or to assess. I would like to throw a question, right? Can somebody help me tell me the difference between evaluation and assessment? Well, what is the difference between evaluation and assessment? What are these processes? And we apply both the processes in the classroom, isn't it? Which one is better? Which one is bad? Or both are required? This is a question mark, right? Here the chemical fidelity is sitting, right? But still, constantly we are thinking of which model is better. Do we need to assess a student or evaluate a student? Again, this is something to do with the policy. I don't want to get into the details of that. And of course, the equality and the inclusivity, right? How do we encourage inclusivity as a concept? To include community, include each and every stakeholder of the learning community, or the only one, or anybody, right? How do we come up? How do we find a piece of technology lying here which is helping me to project whatever I have? How this product has come out? We have that component in our curriculum. How do we look at the product and try to encourage student community to design such kind of a product with their own tacit knowledge? Where are we? So we need to continuously evolve and evaluate ourselves. So this is the ecosystem where everywhere you follow the same kind of things, where innovation incubator, science park, all that. But I'm more concerned about the internal wheel, how you rotate it at what speed, right? So that right ingredients come into the pot and you get the right product at the right time. So the story is, So I hope I'm not taking too long. So the story is, I'm always strong believer of Mahatma Gandhi. So if you look at this, first they ignore you. If you do anything right, first they ignore you. Then they laugh at you. And third, they fight you. And finally, you win. So wherever you try to implement anything, any new thing, you as a community, as a society face similar challenges, right? First you'll be ignored. What a stupid idea you're coming with. But we need to have an ecosystem where ideas can be nurtured, can be spread more. Then people may land up in fighting with you, but ultimately you will win. These things, I thank you very much for all of you for listening.
Thank you very much. I hope we'll be as strong as you. It's a special case.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. So I have one question, please. This is a very interesting.
I don't know. I try to get some thoughts and experiences I had. So,
if you
yes,
please.
Yes, Professor.
Thank you very much for this. It was a very appreciated, especially with that in the sense of the points. I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
I have to begin with the most interesting one. As you said, in India, everyone has a different class. You have different languages, you have different food,
Yes.
and different people in the culture.
Yeah.
So how you can include all these people in your university?
No.
Give me an idea.
Just reaching out to them, setting up a place. We are not taking those communities back to the main institution. We are providing a knowledge base. We are doing a lot of localization. We are providing many other interfaces, creating interfaces so that communities will feel at rest.
So in this case, you told us just before that you will communicate some benefits from these process.
Yes.
After certain things, you need to get benefits from how to help them communicate using this power.
Right.
So, or this 10 beyond 10 gigahertz per second.
Excellent. I think this is very interesting, and I would like to explain this. By doing this, the national knowledge network is just an infrastructure, right? It's just an infrastructure like electricity cables. It's just an infrastructure. And what you're getting out of it is a question. Okay? And how you're getting it. If you want to eliminate this fall, you may have different kind of types of income. Right? But that why figure is insane. Nobody talks about that why. Once the infrastructure is great, nobody's going to talk about it. What application you are using? This is the question. And what you are raising is a very sensitive and a very important question for us. Why? Because how to disseminate knowledge. Right? To disseminate knowledge is a very, very important process. Right? I cannot communicate with you because we too have a different language barriers. Right? So there has to be an interface between us which can do the first job of localization. And that is why we have set up the virtual learning environments across the universities. Right? And those virtual learning environments, they are doing the constant localization of the content. Right? It is not like the professor has spoken in English or in Arabic or in any language. Oh, we have to convert them into 16 languages. Can you imagine? In the countries, they have less number of languages. The problem is very less. But for us, we have to convert them into 16 languages. Right? So that is the job, and that is the man of the job for us. But we are constantly doing it. You see, technology or any infrastructure can be laid down overnight, just like that. You have money, you have policy, you can do that. But from where you are going to get the content? Content cannot be generated overnight. It takes ages. It takes ages, maturity, generations to generate a knowledge base. So how to preserve that knowledge, how to communicate, how to disseminate that knowledge is a challenge. Technology can never be a challenge for us. for anybody. You want to communicate, you go to the market, you buy a mobile phone and you are up, you retrieve. And you think you've done a great job? No. But what all you are doing with the device, it doesn't matter how you are utilizing that. That doesn't matter. Yes, your second question.
Just answer.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
He's answering the content issues.
All right.
No, I'm just curious about the mechanisms and the tools that the Indian government or institution or the university set up. Because the concept of the science part and technology part, it's an issue that to create the synergy between the private sector and the academy. But until now, we didn't find out very quickly and in an easy way to make things happen.
Yes.
When we were talking about we're going to see the community and come back with the content and to somehow we're gonna do the action of the business-oriented research to give it back from the community.
Right.
So for that, I think there is the tools and mechanisms to make things happen together. And I don't know if you can comment on those.
Yeah, it's a right observation. But what is happening, we have, experiencing throughout the world is in the name of innovations, we are setting up science and technology parks, which is a very constraint. And do you think that by setting up a building or the Ministry of Science and Technology, can generate innovation? Probably not. It was a time earlier when, okay, for the focus project, and some like-minded people sit together and they work something and something new has come out. But today, what you think that by setting up buildings, can you innovate? No. You need to have an environment where you can reach out, you can connect to the communities, to the people who are thinking on those lines. You can't force anybody and you sit and do innovation. No, it cannot be done. Right? So innovation is a process, right? Innovation is a process. Right? It could be anything. So that is why we have been deliberating upon the ecosystem. To develop the ecosystem, and it is plural, right? Whatever we have done may not be applicable to somebody else because of various other aspects, right? But just in case you have to continuously evolve your processes involved in that. So come up with a new model. It has to be flexible, right? Where you can nurture creativity of the individual, right? Not to snap down.
Another question, please. Just one comment to you. I'm not really convinced.
Sure.
Yet. I mean that if you make this presentation, for example, in English or elsewhere, I think it will be safe because the trans-speaking communication are sure same everywhere. No, because we live in global.
Yes.
Environment.
Yes.
First point. Second is that this ecosystem of helix system by government.
Yes. They have been for many years.
They are the same.
Same.
And we are looking for mechanism, for really complete mechanism for now 7 years.
Yes.
But who does make the first step towards the other? At university for many years we have been waiting for enterprises to come to the university. You have problems. Would you please solve such problems?
Because universities are waiting.
Yeah.
They shouldn't wait.
They
should set up the enterprise.
Yeah.
They should set up the enterprise. They shouldn't wait for
at the university.
Yes.
But what you said is that we need infrastructure. I agree with you. We need infrastructure.
Minimal infrastructure.
But this is very, very expensive. And this needs time. And I agree also that just from when you say, for example, innovative is sometimes virtual meaning, and sometimes it can be very easy when you say copying is innovative in such a way. So you can begin by copying such systems or other systems elsewhere is not a good idea.
No way.
We have to
No
follow
way.
and we have
No
to
way.
spend
So, exactly what I said, this is a
So,
one model which
I
was looking-
summarize. I have just small question.
Yes.
Could you please tell us how did you make the tablet or this PC for $20?
For $20.
25, I don't know.
Right.
I don't
You see,
remember
you
exactly.
see, this is very interesting, question, and we are also struggling with this in India, and we have to give millions of students tablets, all these kind of things. So the government of India, they decided not to buy this, just to manufacture it. So there's a question of what is desirable and what is achievable, right? Just by saying it under $20, it doesn't mean that you are going to have it, right? So again, the tablet kind of thing, what kind of tablet? What we are going to do with the tablet? What kind of apps you are going to run on the tablet? First of all, you have to design your own system. Then probably the designers can help. So even if you are aware of the $100 laptop concept worldwide 10 years back, do you remember that? What is the status of that product? It never took off. It came out, it came as a small toy box, right? And it was running a very trimmed down version of Linux and a couple of more applications onto it, and they just made it just like a toy. But it never came into the picture. Just by announcing that the $100 laptop is a reality, it never could. It would never become a reality. Right? So similarly, the tablet is going to be the next learning platform for the students. Each of the students would like to have the entire content of the tablet. So what kind of tablet? What kind of how many localization you want to incorporate? Not the piece of hardware I'm talking about, the whole back-end processes. You want to develop your own application for that, or you want to rely on the ready-made application of that? How? So once you are freezing all those kind of design issues, then probably the calculation of the cost can be worked out. And then the manufacturing is a simple process. So you can reach to the best manufacturer in the world and you can get it done. But if we are going to the manufacturer without any design consideration back in mind, probably we are not going to get the right product. Never.
Okay, so let's work on this business model.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for
Thanks
this
very much.
presentation.